Welcome back to Redbird Forest Farm, where we're using permaculture principles to grow stuff in the woods. I'm Cameron. We're here. It's a brisk February day, and I've been working on a couple big projects.
Hey, here I am. I'm in the editing control booth, doing all the stuff. I've been outside all day, tilling. I'm coming in here to say, it was windy the day I recorded all this, and so I had the option of re-recording the whole video, or just having some windy footage. So I hope you enjoy the windy footage. There's subtitles if you can't understand some parts of it. Next time, hopefully, it won't be as windy, but if it is as windy, I'll re-record the footage. Okay, bye. Go back to the video. Hit subscribe, please. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Or, here we go. We're going back.
Something that we knew when we started working out here was that we would have to deal with a lot of remediation and dealing with stuff that was already here, and that's particularly apparent anytime we want to dig more than 1 inch down in the soil. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trash that's been dumped around, and I'm going to show you the process of trying to start a new little cool thing while also having to dig out a lot of things that are not cool. Now, this is just a little sample of what we've got going on. This is over near our little hedge area that we have been working on, and we'll have more to share about that later. But, you can see I've been planting some stuff into these hedges. This is a flower pot I found in the woods. There's a brick, there's a bunch of glass. But you can see that there's all kinds of just small micro trash that is all around. But, yeah, there's just, this is like a plate. It's like a pie plate thing, and we spend quite a lot of time just walking around and picking things up, but if it's not in an explicit project area, we just kind of skip it and wait until we get there. And as we are going into spring, that's going to matter even more. The winter time is probably the best time to pick this stuff up, but we've been trying and we were working on it very slowly, and I think been making some progress. But let me show you the thing that we're actually working on today. By the way, in case you want to see it, this is a crabapple that I planted a couple days ago. Look at that. It's not in focus. It's got some little noodles on them. It's February, but even people are coming back. People are coming back from the winter. They're ready to go. And so hopefully this is going to get some really great growth this year, although there are some reasons why that might not happen. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So this is a little project area that we've been working on. I don't know what we're going to call it. There should probably be some sort of name. If you've got a good idea for a name, leave it in the comment. I'm not great at that thing. But basically what we're doing here is we're creating kind of a little border area. You can actually probably hear me crunching on some trash on the ground. But we're creating a little border area in this big set of trees that exist here. And let me show you some of that. So when we moved here, this was a really kind of strange place. It was pretty clear that people had been using it to just dump trash on the ground. Probably in the middle of me talking to this, you'll get to see a time lapse of me picking up just a huge amount of trash off of the ground. Which is like the 5th time I've picked up trash off the ground. But anytime you dig here or anything like that, or clear brush, you're going to get some of that. So what's pretty interesting about it, though, is that there's some really neat features of it that we wanted to kind of maintain and keep and kind of adapt into a new strategy. So over here, you can see this massive wood pile. We've removed some logs from this wood pile, and they are really neat. They've probably been here for, 6-7 years, so they've got a lot of really neat bug stuff going on in there, hashtag classic bug stuff. But this was mostly a lot of, I think this is called laurel cherry. I'm terrible at identifying plants or remembering the name. I'm great at identifying them, but terrible at remembering the name afterward. But I think it's called laurel cherry, and a lot of different animals eat the berries, and so there's a lot of that here. And there's also this massive cherry tree that's here. I mean, it just keeps going. It's a big guy, and unfortunately, I do think that it is dead. We haven't been here a full year yet. We haven't been here a spring, but in the fall when we were here, no leaves, anything like that. I don't see any buds on it right now, so it's probably not long for this world. It's also got a huge hole in it on the other side. The thing I'm most interested in showing you here is the little actual kind of productive area that we are working on here. So there's this, we took some logs and lined the area here. You can see this is my trash bag, my trash bags. We lined this area here with different azaleas. I went to my local guy, Greg, who has a native plant nursery, and got some native azaleas from him. So that'll be the kind of border here. He's excellent. And then kind of did some other stuff here. So got some coneflower going on, got some different lobelia here, and then a fringe tree here on the side. So the idea here was that, the tree will define this corner, and then these azaleas will define a kind of border for the stuff that's on the inside. So you can see that the dirt here is just like absolutely annihilated, and this is some like random broken trash. Get more stuff for my trash pile. Apologies for the mess behind in my potting area. We're getting stuff going for the year. And so, yeah, most of this has been kind of a journey of walking through and picking out where things go and kind of planning from there. I'm not a permaculture planning kind of person. It seems like in order to be like a real permaculture guy, you gotta like become an architect first and like whip out sheets of paper. That's not really me. But I've been thinking a little bit about kind of forward and backward. The sun's arc, it kind of goes this way. You can see our beautiful February sky. That's kind of where the sun goes in our general area. What's probably most interesting about that is that east is over this way. And you can see that is blocked from this position by this cherry laurel cherry. I don't ever remember exactly what order the words go in, but it's a quite neat tree. If you want to check it out, there is a, I don't know, it like fell over at some point in the past, and then all of these shoots came out, and they just kind of kept growing, like doing tree stuff, which is pretty cool. And it was actually all dead after a certain point here. Maybe this is like the leading edge of that. I tried to kind of leave it here. You can see some interesting, I don't know, is that woodpeckering going on there? And some of it still is kind of dead looking, right? I don't quite know what's up. That's some sort of cool lichen. Dang, that's neat. I like to see that. But anyway, so I wanted to leave that. I think it's pretty cool, even though we are in middle Georgia, and so the afternoon heat is a nightmare, just a living nightmare. I think it's okay. I think we're going to live through it. I think hopefully everything here will do okay enough and establish now, February, March, April, that when it gets really hot, we'll be able to deal with it. Anyway, so left all that stuff up there, and might at some point kind of take it down to head height to release some light behind us. But then beyond that, I started thinking about inside to outside. Presumably this tree, here's our cherry tree that we talked about before. Presumably it perishes at some point or falls apart or falls on this and crushes everything. It's actually kind of leaning in this direction, so maybe that's okay. And so thinking from the back, so this is an alder. I got a bare root alder from the Arbor Day Foundation, maybe, because I couldn't find anyone very local to get one from. And I think they're a neat tree. So, not really native to the range here, I don't think, but that's all right. It's got some nice, you can see that. I'll get a better shot of that with a separate camera, but back here, some stuff I just put in literally right before this. Got some milkweed coming in, some white milkweed. I don't know if that'll actually establish here. This is mostly in the shade for most of the day, but we'll see. Got a blueberry that I got from Lowe's 6 months ago, roughly, and it was marked like 75% off. So I thought, okay, I'll give that a shot. And look, it's like doing great. I'll get another better shot of that too. I've left this on here because, you know, I made an error, I guess. And then the rest of these are, I got these from Flat Creek Natives. You can see, represent my guy Greg. But these are chokeberry. I got black and red chokeberry. And they are, I put these in maybe a few days ago, and they are establishing nicely. They're starting to get some buds on them, and I think it's going to be great. I might have said this before, but if I didn't, we have an immense amount of deer pressure here, and we have so much of that I really just want things to get established. I do have this in such a way that I could put up some plastic deer fencing. We bought some of that in bulk. I'm not super excited about buying a huge amount of plastic fencing, but it was kind of the most cost-efficient option that we had available to us. But I do have this set up in such a way that we could do that if we needed to. But right now, for the past several days, the deer have left it alone. And then we have some additional types of coneflower in here, and also lobelia. Maybe has someone been messing with this? I hope not. Don't mess with this. Anyway, I've also got some other stuff going on here. I got wild chervil, which I've been reading about. I purchased, and I've been reading about the fact that it can like really kind of get going. And so I don't know quite about that yet. And also some passion flower that is like totally, absolutely beefed. So we have a huge amount of vines. You'll see some video here of me pulling vines out of trees. As well as some native hawthorns, I believe, as far as I can tell. They're everywhere out here, and that'll probably be a video to do at some point. Anyway, that's the little area over here that we're working on right now. We'll keep you updated on this, especially going into the summer, to see if things die. But the idea behind this is to slowly but surely begin picking up trash. This is from literally today. Just random things I've dug out of the ground. And you can see there's a lot of glass. I spend a lot of time wearing gloves. This is also like, I think, an aluminum post. This tree that fell here, this tree, it fell in such a way that it like pinned it to the ground. And so I don't really want to do anything to it, but also it's like, it's a pretty cool post to have. I would love to be able to use it. When we do a tour of the more woodsy woods part of the farm, I'll show you a lot more weird stuff like that I found in the last couple months. There's a little dogwood tree too. I just don't have any wood chip around him, but really cool. I think it's really exciting, and maybe you feel this way too. I think it's really exciting when things start coming back. And you know, even though it's February here. It's cold. Tonight it's going to be down into the 30s, but these guys they're doing their thing. I think that's really neat. That's a console for a car. I'm going to try to do something with it. I think it would be exciting. It's a coffee cup I found. I put on a stone. That's the kind of stuff you get up to in the woods. Probably the most exciting project that we've been working on today, and we had several that I'll fill you in on later, but probably the most exciting project today is that I've had these hawthorns that, again, I got on sale at Lowe's. I promise I buy things that are not just on sale at Lowe's, but if I'm going to buy a tree, unless it's, you know, it's going to have to be like a major purchase. I'm going to have to think a lot about it, but these were kind of impulse purchases. I know that hawthorns grow here, so these are like greater haws or something. I left the tags on so I could remember, but they're there, and the idea is, though, you know, they'll get head high or so, you know, somewhere around in there, big and bushy, provide some shade. The sunlight comes from behind me and goes forward. And the thing I thought was I wanted blueberries. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a freak for it. Blueberry freak. And so this is kind of a traditional, you know, Charles Dowding style raised bed. used some of the cardboard roll that we had that we were using for some of the longer production beds that will be again brought up in another video at some point in the future. So use some of that, and then also I've received a lot of plants in the mail recently, bare root plants, so use some of those boxes and things like that. Kind of stick on the back just to have an idea of where the whole thing is going and the idea of it. But this is like a straight up traditional no dig bed that I'm putting in. And we're going to plant blueberries here, and I'm going to intensely plant blueberries here. They're going to be probably 2 feet apart, 3 feet apart in a triangular structure, and I'm going to do that right now. All right, and that's a lot of blueberries in the ground. It's really exciting. You can see I also threw some clover around it. I know the conventional wisdom around no-dig beds is weed resistance and things like that, which is undoubtedly true in controllable and controlled conditions. But what we found here, and I mean, you could look all around here to see these, we have just a huge amount of unmanaged grasses that are right here. Ultimately, the experiments we have had around no dig already have showed us that we have just a huge amount of cultivated weeds. I mean, on purpose, we are letting grasses and things like that grow and maintain, and we are trying to manage but not eliminate or overmanage in any kind of way, especially right here, as you can see. And so no matter what, we're going to end up with a situation where a lot of weed seeds are going to blow onto this. So I put red clover in. Hopefully it is manageable and easy to deal with these blueberries. It's going to look nice no matter what, even if all of these things die. You'll notice I was having a little bit of issues. This is a good solid 3 inches, 4 inches in some places of soil cubed compost, which weirdly enough is kind of our best bet here. I'm not super enthused about having to buy that in, but hopefully next year, as we have kind of full production up and going of our own compost, we'll have a lot. It won't depend on that, I guess is what I'm saying. But so I had to dig through the bottom, and unfortunately, where we don't have just sand here, we have hard, compact clay. So I'm hoping that the no-dig method is going to allow us to kind of work with that and work in that, and we'll probably come through after the clover gets established, and I will mulch around all of these. We've got a good few months. I put in some Josta berries here at the end. I don't think they get huge. You can tell me if I'm wrong. But hopefully we can kind of manage them at this size. This is because this is on a slope, by the way. These sticks here, you might be concerned about, oh my gosh, what's up? Are these tactical sticks? They're just there. They're some Bradford pear butts that I chainsawed off after hacking them with an axe for a while. And they're just here because this is on a slope, and I don't want the soil to erode down into this little gully here. And I didn't really feel like evening it up underneath. It was going to be a lot of soil work, and I don't want to do that. So these are planted into holes that plant into the soil itself, but they've got a good solid 2, 3, 4 in some places inches of compost. And so I think all of these are going to do well. I got these blueberries for some different local nurseries or regional nurseries here in the southeast, and so I'm hoping that they will be adapted well enough for our eventual heat. So really excited about these. I think they're looking really good. Some are pretty tall, and we'll go from there. But thanks so much for watching me put these things together. So that's it for this kind of blustery day in February. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We've got a lot of projects going on. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of native plants that I've purchased from Greg. Got a lot of persimmons and dogwoods and redbuds, some flowering trees that are going in around. We have quite a lot of room to plant into, and I almost said this one. There are two projects that I kind of showed today. One longer running, one kind of a single day project, that no dig bed, with the blueberries in it. And I guess if you like that, or if you didn't like it, either one, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know in the comments. I pitched a lot of let me know in the comments. I pitched a lot of other videos today of things to talk about. I've got a lot of hedge work that my wife has done. I've got some in the woods planting that we've done of some trees and berries and things like that. A lot of clearing that we've done of different parts of the kind of unmanaged scrubbed woods. You can hear a four-wheeler in the distance probably. And a lot of other things too. We got a lot going on here. So let me know what you're interested in checking out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you when we dig the next hole.